All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're looking at a pretty radical idea, drawn straight from our source material. What if we could take the same technology that keeps astronauts alive in the vacuum of space and use it to build a completely new foundation for life right here on Earth?
And really, it all starts with this one powerful question that frames our entire discussion. What if our Level 1 housing megastructure had all this? It's a heck of a thought experiment, asking us to completely reimagine our most basic infrastructure from the ground up.
And the core idea is exactly that. We're talking about applying life support systems, systems designed for literally the harshest place we can think of, the void of space, to tackle one of our planet's oldest, most stubborn problems, poverty. It's about using this incredibly advanced, self-sufficient tech to create a whole new baseline for society.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with the big picture, the vision for Earth. Then we'll dive into the survival blueprint itself, looking at the essentials, the safety systems, and the unseen backbone holding it all together. And finally, we'll connect all this incredible tech back to its grand mission of creating abundance.
All right, first up, let's really get our heads around this core vision. How do we make that leap from the desolate vacuum of space to a future of abundance for everyone, right here at home?
Okay, so at the absolute heart of this whole concept is this one piece of technology. It's called ECLS. That stands for Environmental Control and Life Support System. And you can basically think of it as the complete operating system for human survival inside any sealed-off habitat.
And this is where you really start to see why this tech is such a game changer. I mean, think about it. Space has a lethal vacuum. ECLS gives you a pressurized habitat. You've got insane temperature swings. It provides active thermal control. There's no air, no water, no food, no problem. It creates them using closed-loop systems. It's literally a blueprint for total self-sufficiency.
So, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this survival blueprint. It's all built on 10 core systems, and we're going to group them into 3 main categories. Let's start with the absolute must-have essentials for life. We're going to start with what you might call the essentials of life. These are the systems that handle the non-negotiables, the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the immediate environment we live in.
First up, we've got atmosphere and water management. Now, these systems are working 24/7, constantly supplying oxygen, scrubbing out carbon dioxide, and this is the really wild part, recovering every single drop of water from the humidity in the air and even from urine, and then purifying it so it can be used again. It's a completely closed loop. You're basically engineering water scarcity right out of existence. Then you've got the systems that handle, well, everything else in your immediate bubble. They process all the solid and liquid waste, they take care of trash, they manage food storage and prep, and they meticulously control the temperature and humidity. They turn things that would be waste or problems into a totally managed, stable system.
Okay, so we've got basic survival covered. What's next? Well, now we're talking about creating a truly safe and stable habitat. And this is all about security and long-term well-being.
You can almost think of this part as the habitat's own immune system, or its central nervous system. It is a massive network of sensors that are constantly on the lookout for any potential threat. We're talking fire, gas leaks, radiation, even tiny microbial contaminants. And it's ready to neutralize them in an instant.
And these systems, they're looking after both the building itself and the people inside it. They monitor the habitat's pressure and seals to make sure the structure is sound while also providing everything people need for their daily health, from medical tracking and hygiene stations to exercise gear and even specialized sleeping pods.
And finally, we've got to talk about the unseen backbone. This is the stuff working behind the scenes, the critical infrastructure that powers and protects the entire life support network and makes sure it runs without a single glitch.
So here's the most crucial part. This entire system is designed from the ground up to never fail. Power is distributed with battery backups and automatic failovers. There are backup oxygen tanks, backup CO2 scrubbers. Automated systems are constantly looking for any fault. And the second they find one, they switch to a redundant system. Reliability isn't just a feature, it's literally engineered into its DNA.
Which, of course, brings us to the big pivot. I mean, we've got this incredible, complete technical blueprint for survival, but how in the world does this super complex, high-tech system actually heal poverty? How do we get from a space station to real social solutions?
Let's try and connect those dots in our final section here, from tech to abundance. This is where we see how this blueprint could actually translate into a whole new kind of society.
You see, the argument from the source material is actually pretty powerful. The idea is, if you create these totally self-sufficient habitats that provide and recycle everything, air, water, energy, waste, you're not just providing housing, you are fundamentally attacking the very concept of scarcity. When the absolute essentials of life are guaranteed by the system you live in, well, the entire economic playing field gets transformed.
And the vision gets even bigger than that. As the source material puts it, a public full of abundance with poverty in the past could support the whole space ecosystem. The thinking is, if we solve our biggest problems down here on Earth first, we create the stable, prosperous foundation we need to truly reach for the stars.
But, and this is a big but, the source identifies a huge obstacle. And you know what? It's not the engineering. It's us. It's our psychology. The text points out that humans have this tendency to sabotage things we don't understand. So the biggest challenge might not be building the system, but getting ourselves to trust and accept it.
So, if we're the problem, what's the proposed solution? Well, according to the source, the path forward is to build truly intelligent systems and to achieve global automation. The idea is that these systems could manage all the complexities of this new, abundant society, without the human biases or the simple mistakes that could end up wrecking the whole thing.
And when you really boil it all down, this whole high-tech path, from intelligent systems all the way to global automation, it's all designed to achieve one primary goal: stop the errors. The vision is to engineer a foundation for society that is so resilient, so free from both technical and human error, that our basic survival is just a given.
And that's what I want to leave you with, this final thought to chew on. If a blueprint for abundance actually exists, one that was engineered for the most extreme conditions imaginable, is the final barrier to building that future really a technological one? Or is it something inside us, our collective ability to understand, to trust, and to actually implement the blueprint itself? Something to think about.